Following on from overwintering Gaura, which you will find in one of our previous videos, this is just to show you what you do now. So we took it down to about 1/3 of its height. This is what you see in the way of the old dead wood here. And then here is the fresh new growth coming through, because it is coming from below ground level like a normal herbaceous perennial. And we're going to take off all of this dead foliage and dead sticks, and then we're going to allow it to come through, and it will eventually look like this beautiful plant here, and then be ready to flower for you for the summer. So we are going to be taking all of these sticks out, and we're going to be taking them right out down to the base, and that is how we will be tidying it up, ready for it to be a plant that will go out in your garden, or you can leave it in a container to flower through the summer. So we're going to tidy up this plant and make it look really good. So you just find your individual sticks and you go down as low as you can, making sure that you don't cut off any of your new growth, because that's always the worst thing to do, because then that's a little bit of pruning that you really did not want to happen. And you'll find that all of these pieces are going right down to ground level, even the little pieces. When you're cutting this back, you will find that actually none of this new growth is coming from these old pieces, or not very much of it. So just check where the new growth is and then cut the old growth off and leaving the new stuff. The majority of all of this old stuff is not regrowing. It is all coming from below ground level. So this is what you're trying to do. You're just trying to take your snips down, follow down to the bottom and cut it as low as you possibly can, making sure you don't cut off any of the new growth that is there, and that is going to come up and grow up. So this is looking really, really good. It's a really healthy lot of growth on here. What you will notice, and a lot of people get a bit worried, is that Gaura have spots on their leaves like these. Well, I call them freckles, and they're just natural. They're nothing other than a spotting that naturally occurs on their foliage right at the beginning of the year, and then later on it disappears. It can be as much as the marking that this variety has on its leaf, whereby the whole leaf has got all this beautiful red and there may be a little bit green at the top, and eventually once they start to go into flower, the leaves all turn green. So having cut back your plant, in about 2 to 3 weeks it's going to look like this, really, really beautiful, starting to put on its buds, and it will flower for the rest of the summer for you. You can either put them out in the ground, or you can grow them in containers. Just make sure the container is big enough that you keep them watered but not overwatered, and that occasionally you give them a little bit of liquid feed. Something like tomato feed is absolutely fine. Full sun to part shade, preferably more sun than part shade, and they will be happy and look really good for you. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel.